Hello and welcome. I'm Sumita Karir and you're watching Rush Hour, bringing you a quick roundup of the top stories of the day. So beginning this show with Twitter's new logo. Well, in a groundbreaking move, Elon Musk and Twitter CEO Linda Yaccarino revealed a new logo for the platform. The iconic bluebird symbol is now replaced with a striking white X against a black backdrop. Musk's decision, remember, follows a poll amongst millions of followers, signaling a significant shift in Twitter's identity. The bluebird has been crucial to the identity of Twitter, considering that the word tweet emanated from that. However, tweets will now also be replaced and they will be called X's, according to Elon Musk. Is the move a hit or a miss? Will the X factor work for Twitter? To discuss this and more, we're now joined by Ray Wang, who's a principal analyst and founder of Constellation Research. Ray, thank you very much for joining us this evening on ET Now.
Hey, happy to join you.
Right, Trey. So even though memes are flying thick and fast around the new logo, but this should not come as a surprise to anybody, considering that Musk has been stating about transforming Twitter into a super app, or what he calls X Corp. But what does this branding exercise do to Twitter? And most importantly, does it help Twitter deal with some of the biggest challenges that it faces right now? Monetization, winning advertiser trust, and even competition from Threads now.
So that's a lot of questions to ask. And let's start with the first one. The move to the X.com, X.ai domain he bought from PayPal in 2017. And really what he does is he does like X, right? The Model X, Space X. His kid is even named X, I think A-12, right? And he's going to change Twitter over completely. And for him, this is a brand new exercise. This is about a rebranding exercise. And it's also about taking the Twitter data, which is really powerful, and using that for X.ai and for the opportunity to create these super apps. That's the first part. The second piece is he's got a whole new class of companies. And these class of companies are what we call data inc companies. And these data inc companies really transact and create new asset classes that trade on unique business models built on data and AI. And so this is the second part of the equation, and we're going to see that over time. But first part was really to get the rebranding in place and to wipe the slate clean with Twitter.
Right. I think we'll come a bit more on what really X means for Musk. But let me also tell you that Elon Musk has introduced a lot of changes in the past few months. I mean, there's subscriptions, there's a new CEO, revenue sharing. But are advertisers budging? Has the perception of the platform really changed in the minds of advertisers and perhaps the overall tech ecosystem?
It hasn't yet. But I think what people are seeing is really that the gravitation to Threads, for example, was really because of a revolt against Elon and really the policies. But what Elon's pushing for is really the essence of free speech, the essence of being able to have a debate, the essence of not just picking sides and not having one-sided conversations. And that is going to win out in the end because people do like to have the debate and that conversation. Now, how he has done it might not have necessarily been the right way to do it. It's created a lot of controversy, but we've also seen that competitors such as Threads, which got to about 120 million active users, is declining because the network effects aren't big enough. The content isn't there. And that's where Elon has the advantage. They've actually refined the algorithms over time. They've done a good job trying to figure out what new algorithms are going to work. And so that's part one, getting the conversations back and going. Part two is actually making sure that the advertisers come back. And that is going to be the challenge. Right now with Linda Yaccarino there, that would help. But the challenge is really showing the advertisers why this platform is much more useful, how it's going to be more targeted and segmented, and why the users there are going to be much more profitable. But users who actually paid for the blue check mark and created content are super excited. They all got checks. And when they got checks for, some people got 5,000, some people got 20,000, some people got even more than that. And that's for creating content. And the ecosystem requires content creators, which is users, and it also requires advertisers, and it also requires subscribers. And he's going after 3 lines of revenue.
Right. And when we speak of the super app, obviously, this is also a move for Elon Musk to make a bigger ecosystem as far as his app is concerned. And he also wants to incorporate payments. He also wants to incorporate goods and services. But what kind of a transition do you see for Twitter when it moves from Twitter to a super app?
Well, as we go from Twitter to X and X to a super app, the transitions are going to be where is it going to play commerce? Is it going to be a payments model? Is it going to allow direct payments and value exchange? Those are all models that have already happened in countries like India and China, right? China has super apps with all its major tech companies. And in India, because of UPI, everybody has an account and everybody has the beginning of a super app. Those models have not hit in the US. It's not hit in Western Europe. And of course, we haven't seen as much of that in Latin America, but that's a model that actually has a lot of future, both on the subscriptions, the memberships, and the service fees.
Right, and let's also talk about Elon Musk's fascination about the letter X. Do you want to go back in time and perhaps talk a bit about that?
Well, Elon actually owned the X.com domain name. He bought that from PayPal in 2017. And of course, we've seen on Tesla, we've had the Model X, we've seen SpaceX. Those are things that are really his fascination. I guess he likes the letter X. He launched and said when he bought Twitter, he said this is going to be X.AI or Twitter's going to be part of X.AI. So I guess that's the magic letter.
Right, so that's the magic letter, but the bigger question is, will X be able to replicate the Bluebird's successful streak, its legacy, and will it be able to sort of reinstate the lost advertisers, and will it be able to transition successfully into a super app? How will users take that up? Well, we'll have to just wait and watch. On that note, thank you very much, Ray, for joining us this evening on ET Now. Appreciate you joining us.